This video shows how to create a report using the Hello Inspections app. Get started by adding a blank report. Check out our other videos for how to create a report from a template. You can send pre-inspection agreements from the app, but for this demo, we'll just select Send Externally. Select a report type. For the demo, we'll use a property and timber pest report, which is the most complex. By default, the report type name will be the report title, but you can change that to whatever you want. As you start typing the property address, the app will attempt to auto-complete it. For those occasions where the address is not found, you can always enter it manually. Add customer details. The next step is to add the basic property information, so let's hit the Property tab. Most of the items are selected via a simple checklist. The app is preloaded with the options. If you'd like to add more options, simply hit the plus button. Your new option will be saved for future use across all your devices. The app is designed for maximum efficiency, so some of the items have a different interface depending on the type of data being captured. Take note of the property configuration here, as we'll be using this later. The pre-purchase reports have more options than any other report type, as they have the most stringent standards and requirements. Once all the property info is captured, it's time to add the findings. The findings screen has two different layout options, depending on your preferred method of inspecting a property, by location or by severity. If you like to fully complete a room or area before moving on to the next, the location-based view is for you. If you tend to focus more on building elements and defects, you should use the severity-based view, and that's where we'll start. Add a finding and select the severity. Select the location from the list. As always, the list of locations is easily modifiable. There are many ways to add the finding description. You can simply type it into the text box, but it's more likely that you'll want to select it from a list, either our library or your favourites. Hello Inspections is preloaded with hundreds of defect statements that are easily searchable. Let's start by adding one that you'll often want to use, additional photos. We can add photos here throughout the inspection. From this screen, we can simply add another new finding. This time it's a minor defect. Let's use the search function to find the defect statement we're looking for. Most of the time you want to customize the defect statement, and you can do so by typing into the text box. You can then save it into your favorites. The favorites list is your personalized list of defect statements. It's fully modifiable and searchable, so you can always quickly find what you're looking for. Next, you want to add some photos. You can use the onboard camera or the photo library. Let's demo the camera first. As always, efficiency is key. You can snap as many photos as you like, and without even leaving the screen, they are added to your finding. You can even take photos for other findings while you're here. Simply switch to another finding and continue snapping. Add arrows and text to your photos. If you're doing a property and timber pest report, add the timber pest findings by selecting the Timber Pest tab. Notice the severity options at the top now relate to a timber pest report. Now let's look at adding your findings by location. The idea here is that we create a list of all the locations that make up the property. There are a few different ways to create that list. One way is to utilise the property configuration that we've already entered in the property section of the report. Another way is to simply add locations from the master list one by one. Another way is to use a location template. The app comes preloaded with a few, and of course you can add your own. Once you're happy with your location list, you can start adding findings. This time let's select the photos from the photo library rather than using the camera. The screen is split, so you can navigate through your photo library without leaving the finding view. Simply tap the photos you want to add them to the finding. If the thumbnails are too small, you can easily adjust the size. The location name and subtitle are also easily modifiable. Once you've added all your findings, navigate to the Summary tab. Add the main image, again using the camera or photo library. Select various options for the conclusion. As always, you can add your own options. Add frequently used summaries to your favourites for future use. When you're done, hit the Report tab to see a preview of the PDF report. In fact, you can do this at any time to see how it's looking. There are various ways to send the report. The simplest is to email it directly from the device.